Thank you very much. Um, Today is historic. I know we have a lot of press conferences, we have a lot of ribbon cuttings and those kind of things. But today is historic, and I couldn't talk about today without thinking about Mr. Bob Lane, who's looking down. He was one of the founding members of the Realtists. He knew it was important. He was a black man that owned real estate. He went through the struggles of holding on to the real estate. And he went on to help be one of the founders of the Realtists, to say we've got other African Americans who can sell real estate. And he was doing home real estate, he was doing commercial real estate, and he trained a lot of people, Derrick and others who've come through his tutelage. And he was a very, very good friend of mine and helped me understand a lot about real estate. And so I know he would be smiling today. One of his dreams was, how can we get connected with the Port Authority? And this is way before I was before I was a county commissioner. I think I was a state rep then. And he was telling me and trying to help me understand, and the most valuable thing you can have is land, because that's something that's not being remanufactured. And so he had helped me when I was on council as a vice mayor. We did a deal with one of the largest black home ownership build projects, Villages of Daybreak. And he said, we can't just build it. We've got to have African Americans that can build homes as well, women-owned businesses that can build homes, and then we've got to have the people that can sell the homes. And so it was the first time that we had a city-rama where we had an African American woman building homes, a Caucasian woman building homes, as well as having the Realtists help sell the homes. But we have not had anything like that at the county. And so at the county, one of the things I've been saying, we're going to shake it up, we're going to open up the process to let more people be a part of the process. And so at the county, I've been very excited in including the Realtists in a number of areas. Reevaluation of your homes, you just got the letters to be able to go to the board of revisions and say, this ain't right. We didn't have African Americans on that board. The first thing we did, Jill Schiller, our treasurer, came to me and said, who do you have? I said, David Beard, who had been the state president of the Realtists and had all this experience on reevaluating homes and those kind of things, but could never get appointed. He was appointed. The next time I became president, they said, who do you have? I said, I'm gonna go with Derrick Dansby, the president of the Realtists, and also Mr. Roosevelt Barnes. So for the first time, we have 3 African-American males on the board of revision who have connections to the Realtists. No, and that's big. Y'all give a big clap, because there's gonna be a lot of people coming to y'all. They already, yes, if y'all watching, call him. Second thing we said, we had money, myself, Vice President Driehaus, and Commissioner Dumas, we said we're going to put money in affordable housing. And we were working with Laura and so many others. And the administrator said, who do you want on the board to determine and to look at this? Because we said we're putting $40 million on the table, the largest in history. That deserves a clap, by the way. But I said the Board of Realtists should be on that board in addition to others, and it was the first time the Board of Realtists. So we've had a relationship at the county now with the Board of Realtists. The next thing we had was a Black Business Day for the first time. And we had over 100 Black businesses, and Derrick was there, some of his members. And then that's when I believe Alicia, Derrick said, hey, we have our government day, could we do it at the county? And I want to thank my staff, who we mentioned earlier, who put it together. Yes. But I said I wanted it to be real. And it's important because I know we got this great announcement, but how we got to the announcement is critical. And he said, okay, let's put this together. And he said, well, you think we can get the port there? And I called Laura, and Laura, you said yes. And this was a hot, to come in. And, I'm always on the port behind. But when they do something right, I'm going to be standing right with them. And today they doing it right. I'm going to be screaming. So they were in the room. I opened it up, I left out, it was hot and heavy. I tiptoed in there. Laura said, you want to come on in? I don't know, it's hot up in there. But the goal I did say there that I was hoping we could come together in a partnership. That's what this is about, partnership. And so today I'm super excited for this historical announcement of this partnership. And I hope y'all get it. This comes from Bob Lane, who's not alive today, to now the realtors through Derrick and Laura and in the county, because I know some of it might be in our land bank, coming together, the county, the realtors, the Port Authority. I don't think they have anything like this in the country. For African-American realtors, all African-American realtors, so I ain't got nothing to sell. I'm ready to sell, but I ain't got nothing. Inventory, talent, community connection, Hamilton County government, land bank. This is historic. This is a national model. So I'm excited today. I will have to say in that meeting, also, I can't be remiss, Robert Bale, who's our economic inclusion director, on that same day, this is all this history, we released the first ever, and the realtors were there, Hamilton County's first ever MBE, WBE small business program in history. And this could hit over $75 million plus for folks. And y'all were there when we passed it. So on that day, we passed this historic bill. On that day, it was a historic meeting. And then we're here today with this historic announcement. My last thing I just want to say is that in this budget, and I'm hoping it's staying in, it's been staying in so far, we're looking at putting $500,000. I put some money aside. We didn't know how we were going to do it, but we figured it out now. $500,000 will be available for down payment assistance for commercial properties for small and minority businesses. And we're looking forward to working with the Port and Alloy and others on that. So this is a big announcement. I like for the three of y'all to stand right here. Two of y'all stand here. Come on up. Laura, get right here. I'm here to tell you, Laura's been waiting for this moment. Laura, you did an incredible job on this. And Derrick, you did an incredible job. But this is what happens when you got the county, the port, and the realtors, the African-American community, working together. Thank you. God bless you. Sell these houses, and let's get some more inventory.